like that we're starting with the easier one.
Yeah.
So, yes, some therapies, most of the typical therapies have made the cut. So, dietitians, exercise phys, social workers, art and music, speech, OT, psych. So, one thing to just keep in mind with your art and music therapy is you will not get funded for music therapy. This is what a delegate told me last week, but as we know, it's choose your own adventure and it depends what delegate you speak to on the day. But they said, so let's just say you ask for 20 hours for speech and 20 hours for art and music therapy. They won't fund art and music therapy on its own. And however, it will be listed that you could possibly use your funding flexibly for art and music therapy. Okay, so that's always fun. And it's also really important to remember, and this is how we start to layer and come into what is an NDIS support for someone is not for another person. And I encourage you all to go back and refresh yourself with our stated supports webinar, which talks about stated supports and described supports, because whilst physio is an accepted NDIS support, if you've only got speech and OT actually written in your plan, you would not be able to use physiotherapy. Okay, so that's that perfect example of it being individual to everyone. Alternative therapies are not a NDIS support. So again, this is more so for your self-managers. In the past, if you found that Reiki, reflexology, massage helped your little person to move towards their NDIS goals, you could in theory engage those therapies. However, now you absolutely cannot. Therapy equipment for use in the clinic. So basically this is saying that your therapists need to be providing the equipment for your little person to do therapy, and that's incorporated in their hourly rate. And just to reiterate, core funding has actually never and should never have been used for therapy and paying for therapy. Yes, there is a line in the core funding, but that is actually for disability related health supports. And that was more so for around COVID. So you should not be using core to pay for therapy. And also just a reminder, I'm very sorry for my dog barking, is that you cannot and should not and never have used your NDIS funding to pay for diagnostic assessments like autism and disability and intellectual disabilities.